Alright guys, so now that we've learned how to compose functions, we want to learn how to decompose them, how to kind of go the opposite direction. So basically what we're going to be looking at is if we have a kind of a complicated expression here, how can we re-express this function in terms of an inner and an outer function, right? So can I find an f and a g so that when I take f of g of x, I get this thing? And so the way I want you to think about it is if I had like a really old calculator and I had to evaluate this function, what's the first thing I would type in? And hopefully your knowledge of your order of operations will kind of guide you well in this. And the first thing you would have to kind of figure out what it was before you did anything would be this 3x, right? And then you could write down what 3x is and take the ln of it. But the first thing you'd have to do is to find out what that 3x is. So that will be my inner function. So my g of x is going to be the first thing I would type into my calculator, and that's 3x. Now, what's remaining is going to be your outer function. Your f of x will be the ln just of x here. And so then we can kind of come back and check. All right, so if I take my f and I replace the input of it with g of x, do I get what I had before, right? So if I take my ln of x and I replace my input here with this entire thing here, my entire g, the 3x, do I get what I have here? And I do. Alright, so that's what we're going for. How about something like here? What would be the first thing I would have to type into my calculator? And the first thing I'd have to type into my calculator here, again because of the order of operations, is this 2x plus 3. Alright, so that's going to be my inner function. My inner function is going to be the thing I have to type in first. So g of x here is going to be equal to 2x plus 3. Now what do I need to type in next? Alright, what's left? Well, I need to take whatever I got from here, and what do I need to do with it? Well, I need to square it, right? And then I'm going to need to multiply it by 5. And you can do the same check that we did before. How about this last one though? Alright, what's the first thing we would need to type in here? Well, it's kind of hidden a little bit. But you could put parentheses there and it wouldn't change anything, right? And notice that we have to do what's up in here first. We have to do this negative 0.03 to the t first. So that is my inner function. And then my outer function would be what's left. So the outer function, I'm taking e to whatever I got before. So that's x, right? And I have messed up some of my letters here, but these could be both t's, right? So, just big picture, what do I want you to do here? Well, I want you to think about that old calculator. I want you to think about what you'd need to type in first to evaluate that function. And that's going to be your inner function g, right? And sometimes you can also think of it as by the order of operations, what do I kind of need to compute first? That is what your inner function is.